Hi, good morning. My name is Haven, and welcome to today's vlog. My cat is on my lap too. I think he wants to say hi. This is Noodle. If you don't know, if you are new to this channel, I am self-publishing a sapphic romance book in the next year, and I am working towards edits and fixing it up to have the final draft ready at the moment. But I actually wanted to start this video by talking about something that I'm sure will be the title. So if that's why you clicked on this video, I'll just talk about it right away so you can get what you came here for. But I got really exciting news this Thursday. And a couple months ago, I'm trying to remember exactly when, probably after Christmas, started the new year. I saw this opportunity on Instagram from Lambda Literary, and they were extending their deadline for applications to their summer writers retreat. This is a retreat for emerging LGBT voices, and there was a very extensive application process with 15 pages and an artist statement, and a whole bunch of information about yourself. I figured since they were extending the deadline, maybe I could go ahead and just sneak my application in there. I really did not expect much to come of it. Lambda Literary is huge. Like, they are huge, huge. And they have a whole bunch of different genres that you can attend the workshop for. There's a different author who is in charge of each one. So this is their second year doing romantic fiction as a genre. And this year, Casey McQuiston who is the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, is the um, mentor for romantic fiction. So they went through the applications, they had a hand in selecting who made it through. And if you do make it through, you work with Casey McQuiston as well as the other people at the retreat to work on your writing. Um, so I made it in, and I got the email on Thursday. I was absolutely shocked. From what I remember when I applied, they said that decisions would be made, I think, somewhere in March, and I didn't hear anything in March. So I figured like the window had passed, it was all done. I was like, that's fine. It's a long shot anyway. It's a huge opportunity. Um, but yeah, I was selected with a scholarship. So I am going to be attending the Lambda Writers Retreat in the first week of August, and I am so unbelievably excited and nervous. But it was just really cool to like have somebody read 15 pages of my writing, to have Casey McQuiston read 15 pages of my writing, and then go, yeah, like, yeah, we want you to come to this thing, which feels crazy. Like, I still can't believe that happened. The 15 pages that I submitted was not from the book that I am trying to publish now. It is from my next book that I have started, which I feel really, really good about that one. And I feel good about the book I'm working on too now. But I had like a really solid opening 15 pages to that book. And I was like, I think I could submit that. And I guess they liked it. So yeah, that's like my main exciting news. The rest of this is going to be a vlog, so you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. But I'm going to be working on editing today, and I just wanted to get up and, sorry, excuse the mess in the background. I can see it from here. It's so bad. And I promise I've been cleaning. I know I talk about wanting to clean in every vlog, and I have been cleaning. It just keeps getting messier after I clean. Ugh. Here's Noodle. He went to the vet yesterday. I think he sees a squirrel outside the window. Okay. But yeah, plans for today. I got some critique back from my critique partner, Tegan, on chapter 9. So I'm going to go through, I've gone through most of her comments already, but I'm going to just go through and try to make a plan of how I want to incorporate them before chapter 9 goes up next week for my patrons. I am posting on Patreon as I work on the final draft before I get to self-publishing, just to raise a little bit of money and some engagement for the book. And it's been going really well. So if you want to join the Patreon or just check it out, you can even read all of the chapter snippets for free if you just want to be a free member or just kind of peruse the Patreon. So you can do that as well. And I meant to mention this in the last video, but I think I'm going to be, after, the process of posting all these chapters of my book is done, I think I'm going to be transitioning the Patreon also to have like more of a tie-in to this YouTube channel. So things like writing advice and maybe like more videos. I have to kind of brainstorm and see what I actually want to do. I know I've seen people like, I follow Brielle Writes on YouTube, and I'm also on her Patreon. And she has really great content on there. So I'm going to kind of peruse around the internet and see what I can feasibly do. Right now I'm starving, so I'm going to not even make some breakfast. I have these little like snack packs with like nuts and fruit and cheese and meat and things. So I'm going to have one of those and then make a coffee. And today is all about chapter 9. I'm editing chapter 9, and that means I'm almost at the midpoint of my book. I have to think about it because Tegan flagged some of the stuff in the beginning of the chapter as like, oh, this kind of feels like transition material, or like there's not enough happening here. Like we're just describing the motions that you need to get the character from this point to this point, which is the actual important point in the chapter. And I kind of get what she's saying, so I might take another look at it and see if there's anything, because I don't think I want to cut that section entirely where they're like going from one place to another. So I could, I don't know, but I might just look at it and see if there's anything important to add, because I think there are some like structurally plot details that need to be in that section, so that what happens after that makes sense and is set up. So I'm gonna look at that today. But yeah, otherwise I do feel pretty good about chapter 9. It's not one that I think I have to make huge edits to like I did with chapter 8. And chapter 10 I feel the same way about. I don't think I have to make huge edits to chapter 10 either. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe scratch that. Chapter 10 might need some edits. I can talk about it a little bit while I'm here. So chapter 10 is, if you've been following along, from Kai's perspective. Kai is the love interest in my story. Every 5 chapters we get her perspective, and they go to this big Halloween party that is like the midpoint of the book. And she runs into her ex there. And right now, I've kind of felt wishy-washy on this decision for a while. Not the running into her ex part, but I kind of cut the chapter like before they actually have any big conversation. Like they see each other, they talk a little bit, and then they go into the house to talk some more. And Melody sees them going into the house, and then we switch back to Melody's perspective and don't get Kai's perspective for a while. So we just kind of hear in the chapter after that, like Kai retelling how that conversation went. But we don't actually see it on the page. So I'm trying to decide if I do actually want them to have that conversation on the page, like if I want to extend chapter 10 and show Kai actually having that conversation with her ex, because I don't know if it would just be like extra material at that point, like if it's not completely necessary, or if that is something that maybe people would want to see. I don't know. I have to look at it again and kind of tell for sure. Like, I don't know if I cut that, are people going to be like, oh, I'm getting cheated out of this conversation. Like I was really like dying to hear this private conversation between Kai and her ex. I don't know. But because they do talk a little bit before that, and I feel like they bring up like the points that are going to be discussed are kind of touched on in their pre-conversation. So I don't know. That's kind of vague and unhelpful, but I'll see. I really have to read through it again and see exactly what I want to do there. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. So breakfast, coffee, and writing. Okay, I'm here on the couch with my my laptop. But while I had my laptop up, I figured I'd just read you the email that I got from Lambda because I'm still kind of freaking out about it. Um, and I'm sure you've probably already seen it if I've put it up on the screen. But it says, Dear Haven, congratulations and welcome to the virtual Lambda Literary Writers Retreat for Emerging LGBT Voices. I am happy to confirm your acceptance to our program. This is a competitive program, so this is no easy feat. Final decisions on applicants are made by the faculty member in your genre. They are excited to work with you, and so are we. So that's Casey McQuiston. Casey McQuiston made the decision and is excited to work with me, which is crazy. Um, Sorry, I try not to be like too much of a fangirl about these things, but I kind of am. Casey McQuiston was like one of the first queer authors I ever read, like ever. Red, White, and Royal Blue. That was formative. That was a formative book for me. And One Last Stop, even more. Like, it's crazy that the books that I was reading, like, while I was figuring out my sexuality and coming out and just like struggling through all of that, and the books that helped me through that, and the author that helped me through that is now going to be working with me on my manuscript. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry, it is. Okay. Anyway, I do want to do some reading. Also, if you saw my videos a while back about ellipsis, where I was saying that they were perfect except for the fact that they didn't have page numbers. I don't know if ellipsis saw that video. I'm sure it's a common complaint. But literally, I think a week after I posted that, they came out with an update where they added pages and page numbers. So now ellipsis is perfect and replaces Google Docs for me. I will say not on the current thing I'm working on, but that will be the last one because everything I have right now for that project is in Google Docs. Other than that, I've started transitioning everything over, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do some writing. I'm gonna listen to some music. If you are a Conan Gray / Noah Kahn music girl / guy / non-binary individual, they both released new music yesterday, which I think had to be some sort of coordinated attack. Like I don't know if they like linked up together and were like, "Hey, do you want to emotionally devastate all of our sad queer fans?" And they were like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do." So yeah, the albums are amazing. It's Wishbone Deluxe and The Great Divide. I think in parentheses something about bugs. I can't remember the full title. It's a long one from Noah Kahn, but I listened to them yesterday while I was going on a walk because it's a nice weekend in Minnesota. It kind of has been like getting warm and cold and warm and cold, and it's now sitting somewhere consistently in like the 60s, which is warm enough. But yeah, I went on a walk, sat by the lake. It was so beautiful. Maybe I'll try to do more like weekly vlogs over the summer so that I can actually like take you guys outside with me and get out of this apartment. Um, yeah, that would be nice. It just logistically, I think, has been kind of hard for me to track like a bunch of little video clips from day to day to day to day, and it's kind of easier to do everything in one day. But yeah, we'll see. It's Saturday right now, by the way. I usually film on Sunday, but this Sunday, tomorrow, is Thesis Fest for my MFA, which basically means that the cohort above me who is graduating, they all read from their theses, their books, at the Carnegie Arts Center in Mankato, and it is really exciting. It's a good time, and I'm just really like sad to see all these people go, um, but also really excited for them and the next chapters of their lives, and excited to hear their projects that they've been working on. I've heard a lot of them already, and read a lot of them already, but not all of them. So I am really excited to do that. It's an all day thing because there are so many readings. Um, yeah, and then that'll be me next year, which is crazy. So, okay. I will be working on chapter 9. I will be putting on some music, and I will be eating my rabbit food and drinking my coffee. Do as I say, not as I do. I would be eating a more substantial breakfast if I was not broke. So there we go. Hello. Okay, so crazy story. The part of this microphone that plugs into my phone just like broke in half. So I'm recording this on my computer, and we'll see if that works or not. Maybe it'll be better. Who knows? But I actually have had a very productive few hours. So I read some of my critique partner Tegan's manuscript and made comments on it, and I will do more later today. I really want to get caught up with that as much as I can, especially now that it's like the end of the grad school season and my assignments and work for the class that I teach is kind of dwindling down. So I have more free time. So I did some of that, and then I got actually all the way through chapter 9, which never happens in these vlogs, but I was right. There wasn't too much to, change. It was mostly just a lot of like prose level things. I looked through the sections Tegan flagged, and I know what she's talking about, but in the end, I was like, it's only like 2 or 3 pages before we get to the main part of this chapter, and I already made edits earlier this week that I think made those sections better, and then I just kind of continued making those changes. I don't know. Maybe it might still be a thing where a reader reads it and is like, this section's like whatever. But again, it's only like 2 to 3 pages. I don't think it's a huge loss overall, hopefully. And I think they're fine sections. They're just not as exciting as what happens in the rest of the chapter. So I did a lot of prose level edits, and then there was actually one edit that I forgot I needed to make because I've been fiddling with this one subplot and kind of changing it a little bit. So just for consistency reasons, I had to change the part of that appears in this chapter. And then I was done pretty much. So yeah, I did that. I also cleaned a little bit. I cleaned out my whole fridge, or maybe like half my fridge, which is good. Um, and I listened to Conan Gray, Noah Khan. We got some stuff going on, good stuff. Um, so yeah, a lot of that done. And then I even wrote some of my work in progress. Like it was a good, and I think I'll write more. Ellipsis has been lagging a little bit, I think, due to the new update. So I have been like switching between it and Google Docs when it starts to lag. But I do hope they fix that soon because I would like to continue using mostly Ellipsis. But yeah, I actually wrote like some sections that felt pretty good for my work in progress, and it was like the most significant progress on it I've made in a while. I kind of knew this was coming, or like hoped that I would have a productive streak coming up because I was really unproductive last week. Like I was just kind of simmering in this like existential dread that I always get at the end of the school year because I am a teacher and a student, so my money runs out very quickly in April and May, and then I very quickly have to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the summer. And my expenses are really high this year because I just got a new car, or a used car, but I have a car payment on it. And I had to take out a loan, and it's just like a lot of financial stress coming up at the same time. So I've got to go DoorDash later, but I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right for now, and we'll see how stressful things get more into the summer when my money really starts to run out. But right now, it's all right. So yeah, honestly, really, really productive. Hopefully I will continue to be more productive in the later hours of today. I feel good. It's only Saturday and I've got a lot done. Still got Sunday. I will be at my thesis event for most of the day, but not the whole day, so good stuff going on. Yeah, I don't think there's much more other than that. I feel really good about the progress I've made today. I am really excited about the Lambda Literary Retreat. It's not until August, but I will be looking forward to it the entire summer. I need to wait and see if there are instructions from them maybe coming up about like what we're working on at the retreat. I don't know if it's more structured or if it's like you bring your manuscript or whatever you're working on and work on it there, or if it's like we should have something prepared to workshop with our mentors. So I will figure that out because I think I want to workshop my work in progress, not the one that I am doing like final edits now on. But I might change my mind on that. I don't know. Yeah, I just figured it would be better to have something in the early stages so I can get some creative input on it. And hopefully Casey McQuiston will like it. They liked the first 15 pages of it at least, which is still literally crazy to me that they have read it and that they enjoyed it enough to offer me acceptance into this program. Crazy statement. So I am done vlogging for the day. I will be back next week, and thank you guys for just like popping in and commenting, and like it's been so nice getting to know you guys and talking to you guys and just hearing from other writers, other readers. It's such a nice community on YouTube especially, and I am just really excited to see how it continues growing. And you can also catch me on Instagram. You can check out my Patreon if you want. Even if you like aren't in a place or don't want to financially support, that's totally fine. You can read all of my chapter excerpts for free, and also the first 3 chapters are up for free. And on my Instagram, I post a lot of art, character art, there's more coming, and I post some book recommendations, post like work in progress every Wednesday about what I'm up to and what I'm writing, and what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, stuff like that. So you guys can check me out on there in the meantime as you wait for my next vlog, and as I wait for my next vlog and survive the next week. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.